Okay, guys, I got quite a doozy of a story for you. I don't even know where to begin, so you guys are going to have to figure out amongst yourselves whether this story is true or false. Last year, December, I'm in Texas, and I'm seeing a story online of a woman who's from Thurman, Iowa, which is where I'm at right now in Fremont County, and she's laying claim that her father, Donald Dean Studi, is a serial killer. Story goes as follows. Basically, as a little kid in the 70s and the 80s, she would help her dad bury bodies on the family's property, which lies about 4 miles from where I'm at right now. So she contacted authorities. She actually contacted them many, many years ago. So this story is not new. It's just been one of those rumors that have gone around the Thurman area for the better part, I'm gonna guess, about maybe 35, 40 years. The story goes as follows. So Lucy McKitty, who currently lives in Florida, is claiming that Donald Dean Studi, who is no longer alive, killed a bunch of prostitutes, some transients, over the course of maybe 30 some odd years. She said that he would kill them and then make his kids drag their bodies into a well on the property, basically throw them down and then throw lye over them. Now, in a couple different interviews, Lucy McKitty, who is the daughter, claims that everyone knows, all of her brothers and sisters, they knew what was going on because they helped, and they're covering it up. Now, Donald Dean Studi, it looks like he's made his living for most of his life as a mechanic and a drug dealer and a gun runner and other crimes. This guy, like his other daughter said, quote, he is no angel, unquote. He's done some time in the prison system here in Iowa for larceny and drunk driving. Now let's talk about this property and this well. So down below, this is quite a not a huge area, but it's a very rural area. I drove into this area and it is not easy being an outsider that doesn't live in a town, just driving up this semi-private road and having a bunch of weirdos looking at you. Not saying that I'm not the weirdo, just driving onto somebody's property. So this well, supposedly where all of these people, upwards of maybe 50, possibly even 70, were thrown down and lye was covered over their bodies to help decompose them faster. Now, the well, which authorities did investigate maybe back in December, is 3 feet wide and 90 feet deep. So they come out there and she's saying, like, yeah, they're in a well. It's somewhere over there. Maybe it's somewhere over there. It's somewhere over here, but it definitely happened. And she's very adamant. So, of course, you know, you have a very, very small area here in Fremont County. The population in Thurman, I'm going to guess probably 300 at the most. Fremont County does even have 7,000 people that live in the area. So you got this sheriff. He's my new favorite sheriff of the month, Kevin Astrop. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Basically, he gave an interview to the local affiliates out of Omaha, because we're about 35 miles away from there. And he's overwhelmed. I mean, basically, he didn't say too much because he did say that this has been not investigated, but there's been rumors about this guy killing multiple people for at least, I believe he alluded to 10 years. Now, Donald Studi died quite some time ago. So I guess there was no need to really investigate in his mind. I don't know. But he basically said, when you go to the well, because they did go to the well, I want to even say the FBI was involved, because Fremont County Sheriff's Department, they don't have any money. And he said that he was just guessing to excavate that well would cost over $300,000. And they don't have the kind of budget for it. So you're a small town sheriff, and all of a sudden you're getting this nationwide and worldwide media attention, and he's looking like a deer caught in the headlights. He doesn't know what to say. I don't know what to say either. Now, when they were investigating or excavating the area, they didn't find anything. First of all, they didn't dig up the well. That was going to be a monumentous task. Now, a neighbor that lives next door to where Donald used to live, he kind of did a little bit of grading on his side of the property. Now, they didn't find anything. However, there were cadaver dogs that were brought in that hit on something there. I do believe at the time there were 2 cadaver dogs, and then on a second time, a third cadaver dog did show up at the property and quote unquote hit on something. However, I don't think these cadaver dogs were quote unquote certified. So I don't know if these cadaver dogs were, some farmer's dogs. I don't know if they know the difference between something that's, like a deer that died or a human being. I don't know. But supposedly these dogs are cadaver dogs. They're trained. They're not certified, but they're trained. And they definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, hit on something. However, it was the general area. So, for instance, that sign behind me, if that was the well, they didn't hit on that well, but they hit where I'm at that, they're sniffing around, trying to, find it. There's nothing there, but they're making their reaction that there is, in fact, a body in the area. Okay, so we don't have any proof. We don't have any proof that the dogs really did hit on something versus maybe they just smelled a dead possum. I have no idea. One of the sisters who lives in Wisconsin didn't want to be interviewed. And this McKitty lady, I'm not going to lie, she's a nutcase. I gotta say, even though, part of me, I don't want the story to be true because I don't want people to have been murdered for no reason, but being the stories out there, it'd be interesting if it were true. I just don't know. Now, you do have, again, like I said, you have the cadaver dogs hitting on something. But this woman, this Lucy McKitty, Donald Studi's daughter, is like a thief and a liar. First of all, she stole some money from her dad quite some time ago. He had went to the police to report her that she had stole about $16,000, which was his life savings. She denied it. Later on, after, I guess, when he died, she's like, yeah, I stole it, but this guy still killed a bunch of prostitutes. So you got that. She lied on her Facebook saying that she had stage 4 breast cancer, which is something very, very serious. And that is something that you don't lie about or what have you. And she would lie saying that she had an adopted daughter. She made a fake profile on her Facebook about her adopted daughter, and she would pretend that she was sending her, posting on her wall, all this goofy nonsense. And, no offense to anybody from Florida, but she does live in Florida, and we all know that, we all know what's up with Florida. Come on. No offense, but Florida, come on. So somewhere in this area, possibly are the remains of several transients, several prostitutes. Some of them were guys, but most of them were women. So what do you do now? What do you do with this weird story of supposedly there's bodies beneath this ground? It's a very rural area, but it's going to cost a lot of money. So if somebody wants to come up with $350,000 to dig up this well going 90 feet deep, who knows? I'd like to know, why was the well filled up? I mean, now you would fill a well. I mean, it would take an enormous amount of dirt, but you would probably want to fill it up if you don't want your kids stumbling upon it and falling in or whatever. And she always said that her dad would tell her, like, for instance, if the well was over there, I don't want to see you going over down that hill or I'll whoop you so bad, blah, blah, blah. And, all of his kids, they all seem to have left the house and just moved far away. I mean, I don't know if any of his kids live in Iowa still, but this guy didn't seem like a nice guy. So I don't know. I've never met him before. I've never heard of him. Not saying because you go to prison that you're a bad person, but just from what I've looked up, not a great person at all. The last time that Lucy said that she helped her dad what a body was sometime in 1984, and then that was all she wrote. And then she would later go on to move away, and nobody ever talked about it ever again until now, when this story started coming over in the news. Now, this is the grave. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to get my shadow in it. But this is the grave of Donald Dean Studi. He died on March 8, 2013. And this would be his wife, Charlotte. And then, of course, you got other Studi family members right here. I don't know if that would be his son, perhaps. Died pretty young. So you have, yeah, basically this seems like this is the Studi family plot right here. So, yeah. Very, very, very odd story. I was gonna come up here from Texas, but it was so cold. I was like, you know, that's the thing with YouTube and Facebook. You always wanna be first for a story, or at least do relevant stories. However, my channel isn't predicated on current events. It's location only. So sometimes my stories are 100 years old. Sometimes they're, a few months old. The people that live in Thurman have known about this story for quite some time. So this, again, like I repeated earlier in this video, this story there's always been a rumor going around in Thurman about this guy, but nobody ever did anything. And that Sheriff Astrop, he don't look like he wants this to be true at all. He wishes this would go away, because he wouldn't know where to begin on how to handle a situation such as this. So I don't know. 3 different cadaver dogs did indicate there was something dead. That's the proof that there is something there. Even though they're not certified, they are cadaver dogs. However, well is filled up. Tons and tons and tons of dirt would cost over 300 grand to excavate it. Whatever investigation that the FBI, along with the state police and whoever did, they didn't find anything. They didn't find any bones. I don't know if they did any kind of real digging. They definitely did not dig up that well, as far as I could read in the articles. I have no idea. So you're going to have to leave a comment below and tell me what you think. Is this true? Is this false? And this McKitty lady, the daughter, yeah, she definitely has some issues, that's for sure. So maybe she was just looking for attention. Maybe he really is a serial killer, and there's a bunch of bodies, dozens and dozens, on that property, and because of her being a thief and a liar, nobody believes her. Is this another prototypical boy that cried wolf story? Who the hell knows? Anyways, I need a drink of water. So I'm going to head to my vehicle, pop one back, and I'm going to hit the road. I'm going that way. East, 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 east I go. Where I stop, no one knows. Leave a comment below, guys. Tell me what you think about this story. I will see you in the next episode. At least I hope to. Have a good one, guys. Peace out.